My mom made our pet hamster eat its babies. I think I was a sophomore or junior in college at the time. My brother had pet hamsters. I've told some stories about those pet hamsters before.
We killed my mom's hamsters during a party.
Before me and my buddies came home for the summer and drank with the hamsters, which was the end of it all. It's so funny that my mom kind of called me out on, like, you killed the hamsters with your friends, blah, 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 because months before, like 2 or 3 months before me and my buddies drank with the hamsters at the house party, one of the hamsters had babies. And when my mom got these black market hamsters, literally got these hamsters out of the back of a pet store. I've never told that story. My mom got these hamsters for the science fair for my brother when he was in like middle school. My mom didn't want to pay for hamsters, so she asked if the pet store had any free hamsters. They gave us these 2 hamsters out of the back that fought all the time. Because the hamsters fought all the time, the pet store people just assumed that they were both males. Turns out that wasn't true, and that the hamsters were actually a male and a female. So the female ends up getting pregnant and gives birth. So there was like 10 or 15 baby hamsters in the cage one morning when my mom goes in, and my mom's like, shit, like we cannot have a bunch of baby hamsters. I can't sell them. I can't get rid of them. So my mom starts Googling how to get rid of baby hamsters, and it turns out if you stress hamsters enough, they will eat their children. So my mom purposely stresses the hamster out. She eats the babies. And this is the wildest story. My siblings are like, holy shit, mom made the hamster eat its babies. My mom's like, I know, I did. And it was so funny because my mom's like, it wasn't worth keeping the hamsters. Like, I'm not keeping baby hamsters. So I'm going to figure out a way to stress the mother into eating its babies. My mom then feels bad about it because my siblings are razzing her so bad. So my mom goes to confession at our local church and tells the priest in confession, she's like, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. And he said, what's on your mind? She's like, well, technically, I guess you could say I did commit a murder. My mom said she starts laughing. The priest's eyes get freaking huge, like saucers, like deer in headlights look. And he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, well, I did make my pet hamster eat its babies. And then explain the whole situation. And the priest is like, well, I'm not going to lie. That's the first time I've ever heard that type of confession. Funniest shit I have ever heard in my life. My mom, dead ass, just told the priest that in confession. He doesn't know what to do. So he's like, well, I guess, gave her a penance, was like a couple Hail Marys and Our Father or whatever. And he's like, I'm not going to lie. Like, she literally shell shocks the priest when she tells him, like, yeah, like I had my pet hamster kill its babies and eat them. Like, what? What? And I remember when I got that phone call, like, don't get me wrong. Like, you guys have heard some of the stories about my family on here, especially my mom. So when my sister called and told me that, I'm like, there's no way. Like, I've heard some crazy stuff, but that's got to be made up. And then I hear my mom laughing in the background when they call to tell me. And my mom's like, yeah, no, that's true. I made the pet hamster eat its babies. So that's my mom. Hamster killer. Hamster abortion master. That's a term you thought you'd never hear, right? So that's one of my favorite stories of the pet hamsters. The pet hamsters were a nightmare looking back on it. When my brother was trading them to do the maze for his science fair, they used to bite him. He'd have to like smack him and shit. Like, it was absolutely hilarious. So that's one of my favorite stories from my mom. But it's so funny because we joke around about my mom always being so cheap, with that type of stuff. And really, if you think about it, what a great thing that she got these free hamsters out of the back of a pet store. Because the stories we got out of the hamsters and I'm pretty sure my brother Wayne won his science fair with those hamsters. So they ended up bringing a lot of great memories to the family. So shout out to Pet Store for giving us the free fighting hamsters out of the back. And yeah, that's today's episode. Hope everybody's well. Talks to Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting big, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
My mom made our my mom made our aunt